Hello everyone, video 2, January 24th, 2022. We're in a really bad market. I don't want to even say choppy, I want to say bad market. Even if the market goes up, to me, it's a dead cat bounce. All right, we have a very bad setup. I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. I've been doing puts since October. So right now, rates are rising. Well, they're not rising yet, but they're not going to rise. They are going to rise anywhere between 3 and 6 times in the next year or so. And on top of that, we have inflation going through the roof, production issues with supply. We have a war in Russia right now, Russia and Ukraine. We have political debate with China. On top of that, earnings are mediocre. They're not bad, but they're not good. They're so-so. So when they're so-so, you got incoming reports, and if you rate them on a scale from 1 to 100, like I was writing my post today, I would actually give them a 70. So it's passing, but barely passing. All right, January 24th today, IBM did a report. Okay, they beat estimates of sales by I think 6%, but sales were down 18% year over year. They beat bottom line earnings by a couple of pennies, but that was down year over year. So is that good or is that not good? I'm going to go over that in video 3, but video 2, I had to do it because there's a lot of ultimate traders losing money. I even have generals today that were telling me, their account is down really bad. Now, given the NASDAQ was down over 600 points at one time today, all right, at the bottom, I think we were down like 19% off the all-time highs, almost in a bear market, which is 25%. When the index hit 25%, it's in the bear market. So what have I been doing? I've been trying to tell people for many months, not even 2 or 3 months. Like if you're a day trader, this is different from if you're a long term. But if you're a day trader, you want to try to remain, not that you have to, but you want to try to remain 50% in cash so that if something happens during the day, you can jump on it. If you end up every single night with 80 or 90% in securities, the next day, how are you going to reset and see what happens? So a lot of times, I'll cash out at the end of the day, even if it's a tiny gain, so I free up cash for the next day, because we just never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of people that try to use charts, try to call psychics or whatever, Clio, whatever the case, I don't know. Whatever they say, don't believe it. I don't even care if they have charts. I'm going to go over that in video 3. But we don't know what's going to happen the next day. So what I do every morning, and this is before I came on Reddit, because now that I'm on Reddit, I feel responsible for so many people. I wake up like at 4 or 5 o'clock and take a look at the futures on what's active, even though I shouldn't. But normally what I do is I get up around 7 o'clock in the morning. And this is what I do, especially now, because the market is really bad. I have 31 different watch lists. I try to say it's very important to have watch lists, because when you have specific watch lists, you know which watch list and what stocks you're going to trade today. Okay? It could be a bad day like today, and I have a list. It's called high flyers. The list of high flyers right now has about 120 tickers. It's about 120 tickers of stocks that are way overvalued. Then, if the market's bad, just like we're saying it's bad, I'll look on my dividends list. My dividends list are stocks that pay about 8 or 10%. I might look at my defensive list. Okay, I might look at my autos list or my banks list. If the market is green, I might look at S&P Strong. I might look at tech. I might look at Tech Strong. So these are different watch list names. So it's a lot easier, instead of looking at one watch list, one big list with like 300 symbols, to break it down. I have them broken down into 31 different watch lists, and I don't count anymore, because the last several months, since we started throwing grenades in July, I've added roughly 1,000 tickers, maybe even more, 1,000 tickers, and I'm not even vetting the tickers. Like if it's hot, I just put it on the watch list. But I said in a post not too long ago, a few weeks ago, that could be damaging too. Because when you don't know what's really going on with the company and you just trade it, anything can happen. All right. We might get stuck in that. That's a grenade and it might hurt. So what you want to do is, like I said, you want to have your watch list that you like, where you know what symbol is where. And then in the morning, around 7 o'clock, when you wake up, take a look at the different watch lists. All right. Judging by what's going on with the market. You know, is the NASDAQ up? Is the NASDAQ down? How about the Dow? How about the S&P? What's going on with crypto? Because if crypto is popping, blowing up, and that's a sign that's a lot of stocks on the Nasdaq are going to go down. What's going on with China? Are they up? Are they down? Are we about to have a war? Is someone else having a war? So these are things you have to consider when you open up the watch list. All right, and then from my 31 different watch lists, I have a list called plays. On plays, those are the stocks that I'm ready to trade. Right now, because I feel responsible for all my generals, I have close to 50 people on my elite team. I have close to 300 tickers. But for me, I want to trade. And right now, because the market's bad, honestly, I'm not trading too many stocks. I think I've traded maybe a handful of stocks since January 1st. That's actually buying the shares. What I'm doing instead is limiting my bets. Limiting my bets in the form of options. Because when you buy an option, you cannot lose that much, because on the option, that's what you're betting. So the most that you could lose in an option is how much you're betting on the option. Now what I'm doing is, majority of the options I'm buying, if I'm not sure, I'm betting $400 or $500 an option. If I'm pretty sure, I'm going to bet $2,000 an option. So if I'm wrong on the one that I'm not sure about, I lose $500. I lose $500. If I'm pretty sure, I bet $2,000, close to $2,000 on the option, and hey, I should win. If I am sure, I just did a screenshot of one. I bought $5,000 on one option, on one contract. It was close to 50. Well, I bought an option of 50, close to 50 contracts on FRPT, because they missed earnings and revised down guidance 2 times in the span of 1 month, just a month and a half ago, 6 weeks ago. So I was so sure when the stock was up, I was buying puts. So the best thing to do, if you're not sure in this market, because this market is bad. This market, I hate to say it, is bad. And I hope nobody wants to ban me or tries to ban me, because I'm just telling you the truth. This market is bad. So instead of buying too many calls, because I am still buying calls, but if I had to put a ratio, I'm buying about 80% puts, 20% calls. And the only things that I'm buying calls on are cash cow money machines like JEF, Shoe Carnival, SVCL, COWN, CONN. These are all cash cows. Those are the only ones. Actually, what am I talking about? I bought Moderna, but Moderna's making cash. They are making sick cash. mRNA, I have calls, and UPST, I have calls. Upstart, because the growth is like 100%. They help the lender, the bank, and the end user using artificial intelligence, telling you what card to use, what loan to get. UPST. So UPST, mRNA. But in terms of the puts, most of my things are puts. And like I said, with the options. So what I do in the morning, I take a look at what I want to do in the day, scan my plays list. I see maybe out 10 or 15 different stocks I want puts. I want puts on 15 different ones. Now my elite team get a list of pretty much what I want to do before the day. Not the public group, but my private group get it. So I might put out a bid of 15, 10 to 15. Now I'm not going to get hit on 10 or 15 orders. You know, I might I might get hit on 6 or 7 because I'm risk averse. So I'm as careful as I could possibly be. So there it is. I put in a whole bunch of different orders. Okay, most of the orders are about $1,000. So I'm not even spending that much money if I get hit. 10 orders, $1,000 each, $10,000. If I am that sure, maybe I'll bet $15,000 in the morning. But that's if I get hit. And this is diversification. So I'm not going to put that all in one ticker. So on Freshpet, I was sure. So I put $5,000 on Freshpet because, like I said, not only did they miss earnings, they revised down guidance two times in 1 month. So most of the options that I'm doing are puts. What I'm doing is I'm betting $1,000 on a whole bunch of different puts and sometimes a little bit more. Now I'm helping a couple of generals do it also. They have a little bit less capital, so they're doing maybe $500 or $600 per option. Now do not get greedy. Do not get greedy. Do not do YOLOs. Do not all of a sudden put $3,000 on an option. Yes, you can make more, but then you could lose more. So the way that I'm doing it limits your gains, but limits your losses. It's better to put out 10 different options, and maybe you don't win on all 10. Maybe you don't get hit on all 10. Maybe you get hit on 5. And my puts are working the same day. So you get hit on 5 and maybe 2 or 3, you make money in the day. So what? So maybe you make $102 on the ones that you got hit on. So that's $300. And with how much? So if you got hit on 5 different options of $500, that's only putting up $2,500 in a day. And if you win on 2 rounds of those 5 and you make $102 on each, $300 safely. And by the way, this is not financial advice. This is what I would do. But honestly, if you don't have $2,500, I don't know whether or not you should be trading. You could be investing. It's better buy index funds or put your money in one company that makes a lot of money or pays dividends. I don't know if I want to make a bet on a company that doesn't make money if all I have was $1,500 or $2,000. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but to me, if you don't even have $2,500, I don't know if you should be trading because the risk is too high. Unless you don't mind, then that's different. But there's too many people, and there's a lot of people that say, oh yeah, I want to take risks. No, they don't want to take risks. What they want to do is make more money. But when they lose, it's your fault. It's never their fault. Or it's the dark pool, or it's someone else on Reddit, or someone else on Twitter. It's never their fault. So just be careful out there. So these are what I do during the day, especially now in a bear market.